star, little heart, some leftover decorations from my third daughter's first birthday. For those of you who are Korean, you know the first birthday is very important. It's called a Tol. And we had it, we celebrated. My daughter was born on Christmas Day. She shares her birthday with Jesus. I know it's not his exact birthday, but I mean, having your birthday on Christmas Day, I don't know, presents a lot of challenges. But we tried our best. We did something cool here. Check out my wife's IG page at Paper Haven Inc. You guys could see the cool decorations. She's really gifted and all that stuff. But just some leftover stuff that I wanted to leave up there. Today's the last day of 2020. What an insane year, right? As you can see, it's a very different look I got going here. I know. I haven't cut this since, I think, February of 2020. I know everyone wants me to cut it. I'll pray about it. Let's see what happens. So many things. There are so many things that I wanted to say, but instead, I'm just going to make this simple, short video and share 3 points, my last 3 thoughts about 2020. If I share everything that I really wanted to talk about, this video would have ended up being like 30 minutes and no one's going to watch that. So I'm going to try my best just to focus on these 3 points. It's not everything that's on my mind, and it's not everything that I want to say to sum up 2020. They're not the most important, and it's not like I feel like nothing else matters, but let's just get on with it. Point number 1. 2020 for me personally was extremely difficult. Now, I want to be very sensitive here. My family did not experience anything near what some of you have experienced, or maybe what some of your friends have experienced. I mean, just a couple of days ago, I was reading on social media about a former college student of mine whose father just passed away from COVID. Just so tragic and incredibly sad. I mean, that's the worst. I don't think there's anything worse than that. That's like at the top of the list of difficulty and challenge. I think number 2 would be all those who are losing their businesses and homes because of these insane lockdowns. 2020 personally for me was challenging because of just my mental capacity and juice to focus on work and my kids for the whole year was very hard. Working from home, I'm very thankful that I'm able to work and my wife was able to work still. But having all 3 kids, I have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and then now a 1-year-old baby, right? But this whole year she was less than 1. It was really hard for me, really challenging. I've been talking to a lot of my friends, some people that I've been building a relationship with this year, and they would always ask me how I'm doing, and I would always say the same thing. It's tough. I'm having a tough time. And the truth is that it was real. This year was mentally so draining for me. I would wake up every day thinking, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Trying to work, and then my 7-year-old was doing the virtual school thing, and then my 4-year-old, she's just trying to just do anything she can to get through her day, activity books, playing with toys, and then the baby. I mean, the baby was what drained me the most because the baby needs constant, consistent oversight and attention, right? I can't just leave my baby alone and just let her go wherever she wants. Just constantly trying to watch her and then put her to sleep. It was draining. I mean, I don't know how some of my friends do it. Some of y'all, I don't know how some of y'all do it. My friends have like 4 kids, 5 kids. They're like Wonder Woman, Superman parents. They're like super parents. I don't know how they do it. It was hard. It was hard for me. And this whole year was just a consistent kind of a mental battle. I mean, even this video here, this video this is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something else, but nothing this year was going the way I planned. And even if I have an idea, just nothing was fulfilled the way I planned it or the way I thought about it. So 2020 was a huge mystery. More questions than answers, a lot of worry, a lot of stress, a couple of scares for my family. We had to get COVID testing a couple times. Thankfully, no one had it. A couple close calls. But yeah, just that mental strength was so low for me, and I think that's one of the main struggles that I had during this year. Something that helped for me was just to focus on family. When I was trying to fulfill some of these other things while taking care of my kids, especially on those days when my wife wasn't home, I had to take care of all three kids by myself. That's when it got incredibly hard. I was like still trying to, like, I don't know, edit a video or do something else while taking care of my kids. And the truth just became clear. I couldn't do it again. I don't know how some of you guys do it, some of you super dads. I just couldn't do it. So I had to give up all that, let go of a lot of that stuff, and just focus on the kids, focus on family, and take care of essentials. I wish I was like Gary Vee, and I wish I could just pump out all this good stuff and work and have that crazy focus like he has. But we're all gifted in different ways. Point number two, second thing I wanted to share. I'm going to steal this from my friend Greg Ma. He might be watching, probably not going to watch this though. I did a podcast with my friend Greg back like in July or August sometime, and he said this, and it has stuck with me this entire year. Well, since July or when I did the podcast. And I'm going to steal this from him. This is directly from him. And the question keeps on coming up: can it get worse than this? Can it get worse than 2020? That question was coming up a lot during this year, right? Every time something happened, every time something challenging happened, every time something bad happened, can it get worse? And unfortunately, this year, this entire year, it kind of did get worse, right? I feel like there was always bad news and bad news and bad news, one right after another. But the thing my friend Greg said was this: can it get worse than 2020? Yes, it can. In fact, it can get way worse than 2020. We're talking about eternal condemnation. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm a Christian pastor, so I think about everything from a Christian worldview, a Christian perspective. And from a Christian worldview, the answer is yes, 2020 is nothing compared to eternal condemnation. What's worse than 2020? Hell. Hell is worse than 2020. Eternal condemnation is worse than 2020. But maybe 2020 could have been a wake-up call for some of you who's kind of juggling that question of eternity and this whole thing about Jesus and the gospel and the cross and the resurrection, the forgiveness of sins. Some of you are on the fence. Some of you are just been on the fence for years. And maybe 2020 can help you think more deeply about the gospel and about Jesus. Look, for those of you who are watching, for those of you who have friends, or you have this belief that whether you're an atheist or agnostic or whatever you are, there is no afterlife. Maybe you don't believe in an afterlife. Maybe you just believe that poof, you cease to exist when you die here on earth. And that is your right to believe in that. That is something that you might believe in. And if that's what you believe in, then that's what's going to happen, right? You're going to die here on earth, and then poof, you cease to exist. There is no afterlife. What if there's the possibility of error, that there is an afterlife, that there is an eternal afterlife, that there is an eternal heaven or an eternal hell. There's an eternal kind of paradise, a time with the Lord, or an eternal punishment. And for those of you who believe that, again, you just cease to exist, are you going to bet eternity on the possibility of error? There's a question that I wanted to ask you, for those of you who don't believe in Christ and the gospel, for those of you who don't believe in an afterlife and eternity. I wanted to ask you, are you willing to bet? Are you willing to bank eternity on it? If there is a possibility of error that you won't actually cease to exist after you die here on earth, that you actually will experience an eternal afterlife. I hope you can think about that more deeply. Hopefully, that can lead you toward more questions about Jesus and the gospel, and maybe find a church near you or a pastor near you, and you could ask them more questions. Are you willing to bet eternity on the possibility of error? Because there might be an error in your belief. Point number 3. The last thing I want to share is something I'm also stealing. I'm just taking this from another preacher. Right around September or October, I forgot the exact date, I saw this sermon clip on social media. It was posted by one of my former college students from Biola. And it's like a 1-minute clip. It's from the late Billy Graham. If you don't know who Billy Graham is, he was a world-renowned evangelist. There's this one clip. It's something that I've watched over and over again this whole year. And this is what he says. I don't put my trust in Washington. I don't put my trust in the United Nations. I don't put my trust in myself. I don't put trust in my money. I put my trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. And as the rest of it fails and crumbles and shatters, He will still be there. That's something that has encouraged me throughout this year. Well, the last 3 months, because I heard it like in September, October. And it's something that I've been holding on to these last couple of months. Again, for me in a Christian worldview, that is very encouraging for me and theologically comforting and helps me find peace. And if you're a Christian, I hope that comforts you and maybe gives you the peace that some of y'all need, because it's biblically true. 2020 was bad, and in the worst of times, we have to put our trust in Jesus. Not a blue party or a red party, president, economy. None of that is going to solve all of our problems. And on this last day of 2020, I wanted to share that with you, and I hope that does truly encourage you. And those are my 3 points. Again, a lot that I wanted to say, but I felt like let's make a short video and just share these 3 points. I hope that 2021 gets better. But here's the truth. We don't know. 2021 might be worse than 2020. And that's the honest truth. No one knows. I hope it gets better. And for those of you watching, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys watching and subbing to the channel. And I hope for those of you who have experienced crazy struggle, more challenging difficulties than I shared, I really do hope you find resolution and peace soon. Now, even. Thanks for watching. I will see you next year.